Hello and welcome. Welcome,
What?
welcome, welcome.
What do you want?
Oh, shit. Wait a second.
What are we shitting?
I thought we were doing a podcast.
I'm thinking I'm busy.
Uh-huh. God bless. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Second Opinion Podcast. Bro, get that shit off of your screen. We are back again for another episode of the Second Opinion Podcast, episode number 360. There will be enough switches for everybody. There'll be enough
No,
Switch 2's for
no,
everyone.
nobody gives a shit about Switch 2.
No, you don't.
I barely play my Switch 1.
That's your own fault.
Not really.
Yeah, it is. There's tons of games.
I know. Kirby and Animal Crossing and
Mario and Metro and
My Time in a Porsche or some shit like that.
Oh man, but yeah, we're back again for another episode. So we're gonna go ahead and get down into it. Me and Bolts are both tired. We both had long days, and he wants to spend some time with his kids.
I mean, they'll be around. It's okay.
No, you don't want. You never know.
Hey, so when I drink something, do I have to like cover up the logo?
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah. No.
Oh, okay.
Fuck.
It's like we're not that big, bro.
No. Not at all. Speaking of
Of what?
something I had to cover up.
Why'd you cover it, Woody?
Bro, Amara is so freaked out by this thing.
Why?
I don't know. She brings it in my office and she's like, it's got to stay in your office. And I said, why? She said, it scares me. It stares at me. And I swear I saw it moving one night. And I'm like, bro, come on, Amara.
Well.
Now, mind you, if I walked in there and I did see it moving, then I'd be like, all right, burn the house. Burn the house. Burn the children.
The power of Christ compels you.
But anyways, we are back again for another episode of the Second Opinion Podcast. We're going to go ahead and jump right into it and talk about what have you been drinking, what have you been gaming. So, Bolts, what you been gaming, bro? Or what are you gaming now?
I am playing the first God of War.
Okay.
On the revamped God of War, should I say. I'm playing that one right now. I just beat Ghost. I picked up Helldivers 2 the other day.
Oh.
I haven't played much of that yet. But my son Aaron over here has been playing on it since we got back from Belton. So I'm pretty sure by the time he leaves here, I'll be up in levels. So it'll be all good.
I have to fucking re-download it now, bro.
Yeah, you are. I told you I was going to get it at some point.
Yeah.
And then, strangely, I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty. And when I say strangely, it's been like hours upon hours of gameplay each day. Like when I get from work and little Kane Atticus over there is asleep, then I come in here and I'm on it for like 2.5 hours at a time, and just strange. Very strange. Very strange.
It's beyond strange.
Yeah. And of course, I'm waiting until the July 16th.
Well, and tell us what happens on July 16th, Bolts.
College football, baby.
Yes, sir, baby.
Oh, man, and I happen to actually start my 3 weeks of vacation that week. So.
Nice.
So Kane will get fed, Kane will sleep, and I will play.
And your boy will beat you. Oh, bro. Speaking of that, I said that on, Facebook. Like, I was like, just wait. I was like, just wait until I kick your ass in this game. And Facebook marked it as like hate speech. Like, we've taken your comment down, blah, 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 blah. And I commented on, or asked for it to be reviewed. And I was like, it was a joke.
Right.
And I was like, we're just talking about football and blah, 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 blah. And then they denied my review and they were like, no, you're being mean. I'm like, what the fuck?
They're like, we're watching you.
Jesus Christ. And
Facebook,
anytime,
Facebook police is insane, bro.
It's nuts, bro. Because like anytime, like as I'm uploading these videos and stuff like that, there's a lot of times in the last, year that is popping up saying I'm a top, tier creator on Facebook because of my videos and stuff been getting hits. So like if something like that happens, they're like if this happens again, you won't be able to post videos for this amount of days and blah blah. I'm like, bro, come on, dude. I literally commented, I was like, I'm gonna kick your ass in a football game, and they're like,
How
stop being mean,
it's like, how dare you?
stop being mean to me, okay? Got a lot going on. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Anyways, well, gaming wise, today I actually um sat down and played Star Wars Clone Wars on PlayStation. And before that, I was playing oh man, I knew I was gonna forget the name of it. Kara?
So you just be making up shit, bro.
No.
Yeah, you're like, "Oh, I was playing Kara. It was produced and made by Deluxe and Sinister Games." And I'm like, "What?"
I hate your guts, bro.
It's the next Metal Gear, bro. It's
It is the next Metal Gear.
shut up.
No, I can't remember the name of it now. What is wrong with me? Anyways, it was a classic game on that popped up on Game Pass. And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I'll play that." And then Dante started playing it. And bro, my god, dude. The dude would not stop playing the game. Like he was just constantly playing it and like getting into it so much. Like if he ran over some of these trolls, you know what game I'm talking about, bro? It came on 360. You played a
Bro,
fairy, and then you were able to like change into like different, like you were able to change into different monsters, and the main like antagonists were like trolls.
yeah, no, just keep going, bro. Just keep going. It's, nope.
I don't know why I went so blank on that, bro.
Yeah.
Um, but anyways, yeah, so like, I was playing that. Dante got really into it. So and then for some reason I thought it was a good idea to play Army of Two. Um, and I don't know. I guess when it came out, it was a
Now,
really good game.
the first one, okay, I'll give you that.
The-
The first one was really good. The second one was a huge letdown compared to what the first one
oh
was.
yeah, no, not a question. Not a question. Um, and then after that I played Blinks, the Blinks the Time Sweeper. Which was a Microsoft exclusive game. It was about a cat with a vacuum. And it was such a strange game, but it is very addictive. But one thing I did notice though is like you can tell, like, a lot of these people are not understanding this aspect, but like I still don't understand why Xbox is not beating PlayStation in every aspect of the way. Because the console itself, when you're playing these classic games, dude, it upscales these games so tremendously.
Listen, bro. It's because everybody got tired of waiting to buy a damn system. It's just how it was. And when the
I
systems were
guess.
available to buy, the only way you could purchase them is if you bought an extra controller, if you bought an extra game, if you got it's listen, bro. Microsoft's own doing is their own doing, bro. It's bad that way.
Yeah, because like it's such a good console. I was honestly just kind of floored how good these classic games were
Hmm.
looking as I was playing, and I was like, "Holy shit!" The upscaling and res on these games from Xbox, like
Yeah.
the original Xbox, looks so good, man, and the frame rates look so good and all this. And there hasn't been enough talk about the backwards compatibility and replayability that this console has. It's been more talk about like how Game Pass is succeeding, and how we're moving into this digital market and stuff. But a lot of people aren't realizing that this game console is ultra powerful, dude. Like ultra
No,
powerful.
no, it's pretty badass, and the console itself doesn't get enough recognition. But once again, I mean that falls on Microsoft.
Yeah.
They their marketing and stuff like that, their PR and stuff like that for their consoles is just shit. And when they do produce them, and they come out just Billy badass and ready to roll the world, they just don't put enough into selling the system, I guess you can say. It's
It's
you know
very
with
confusing.
it is when the the original Xbox came out. I mean, it was a marvel. Of course, it came out with Halo and had Fable, and of course NFL Fever was kind of there to compete against Madden and stuff like that.
God,
Um,
NFL fever.
yeah, and
Ah,
and and then the 360 was the best console that Xbox had produced, or has produced, in my opinion, and it still had its faults. It had the red ring of death, for crying out loud. Come on, bro,
yeah.
really? You know, and then the Xbox One, it was a good system with very didn't produce enough capability of games like Rise, Son of Rome, or whatever it was called. The graphics of that game was amazing, bro. Was absolutely amazing.
Oh, bro.
And there's just not enough marketing, and the console itself was just this big old block of cheese that you set on the counter. It was just one of those things.
Big
And
block of cheese. That's the best
right,
description I
and
have heard.
and the biggest downfall of the Xbox One was there's no fucking exclusives.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, and you're trying
yeah,
to compete against the PlayStation 3 and stuff like that. It's like, bro, it ain't happening, man.
yeah.
You know, and then the the One X or Series X or the S or the just the regular X and S's came out, and once again, it's
You're
just,
such a fool, bro.
but it
The
just pisses me
XS,
off.
one XSS.
Yeah, yeah, it just pisses me off that
I know, bro.
Microsoft has all this capability and all this software and all this magnificent stuff that they've put in these consoles and so on and so forth, and they just did a shit job from year in and year out of marketing and showing and producing games for the console. It's just it's shit, bro.
It's irritating to say the least, because I definitely think a lot of people would be really surprised by how amazing this console is if it was really marketed the way that it needs to be, as the ultimate gaming hub. That's what I look at with that's what I look at with Xbox. Especially the Xbox Series X. It is the ultimate gaming hub. All the games that you can play on Xbox Game Pass, that you can download directly to your console, without them having to be connected or streamed. And it's just, I don't know, man. It's irritating. Even going and buying a physical media, like going to somewhere like Game Exchange and buying, like a couple of weeks ago, I bought the Xbox Indiana Jones game and played it on my Xbox Series X, and it looked stellar, bro. It looked so good. And I was like, holy crap, dude. Like, I don't understand why this is not more talked about. So it's like one of those features that, they talk about it whenever it first comes out, and then years afterwards, they're just, everybody's like, oh shit, I forgot that it could do that.
Exactly.
So moving on from that, we're going to talk about some good stuff in gaming today. So first and foremost, Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster is closer to a full remake, and it is officially coming out this September. So in the Capcom Next showcase, Capcom provided a detailed overview of the game and its features. This will not just be a simple remaster, it will be a complete remake from the ground up. According to the team, the core of the game remains the same, but the objective was to recreate the same impact as the original title had. The game will include high-end modeling, 4K resolution, and 60 frames per second frame rate, voiceovers for all characters in 9 different languages. It was also announced that the game is coming out September 19th for Xbox, PlayStation 5, and Steam, and a physical version of the game is coming out in November. So, Bolts.
So is this the remake of the original Dead Rising?
Original Dead Rising, and it's like I said, their thing is that it is not just a simple remake or anything like that. Like, they're just trying to get a cash grab. No, this is something that they're actually really, really trying to push as a new experience for new players.
Okay. Well, and of course this is coming from the 360 and PS3 versions, so they're going to need. Hopefully, they put more stuff into the game because it's not going to be a very big game. You know, um,
What do
the,
you
the,
mean?
the, yeah, okay, so like, what's the best way to put it? Okay, so Dead Rising for the 360 and for the PS3, it wasn't. I guess a long enough game because it's as fun and as basic as it is, it's still just basic gaming. It's you're
Yeah.
trapped in a mall with zombies and you're trying to do what you need to do and so on and so forth. Um, are they going to add more content into it? That's kind of what I want to know. Um,
Um, Let me see.
I hope they would put more content. I mean, just from watching what we're watching now, it looks really good.
So it says improved graphics, 4K, updated character models. For the first time, Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster comes fully packed with voiceovers in all different languages. Quality of life improvements. It says numerous adjustments and highly requested features have been added to the game. Frank West can now move while aiming. The aspiring journalist can customize action shots with different filters. Dead Rising Deluxe Remastered now has an autosave functionality. It says all NPC and survivor interactions are now fully voiced. New and improved NPC behaviors, real time lighting and shadow effects, more intuitive and user friendly controls, and new fine tuned user interfaces. So I think that's a pretty big update.
Okay.
Like
I mean, it other than the graphics and stuff like that, it looks like the same game I played on the 360. You know what I'm saying? So,
sounds like you're just bitching.
I mean, I can't do that. See, this is why I'm not a
No,
writer,
you
Caleb,
no,
because I
you
just bitch
can't.
about everything.
You can't. No, I'm just fucking with you.
I'd be the negative zone in everybody's column.
Yeah, you would be. Yeah, you'd be the negative zone in my column, you fucking douche.
You know you love me.
I do. No. So, I mean, I think what you're saying, it's not, not warranted. I mean, that's completely understandable in that perspective. You're saying that you want a more across the board experience that feels, it doesn't just feel like, oh well, it's high res and it's the same game. But if you do
Exactly.
remember, I mean, I played Dead Rising from start to finish, and I'm sure you did too.
Well, yeah, you get to run zombies
There's
over with the push mower. Of course, who
yeah.
didn't play the game?
The big thing about this is that there is a lot in this game. There's a lot of
No,
story. There's a lot of side quests and stuff like that, and kind of filler, funny things. But I think with these quality of life improvements, I think it's going to make the experience that we had when the game originally came out, I think it's going to make it a little bit better
it
because you got
will.
to
It
remember,
will.
like when it did come out, that was one of the things that I fucking hated about the game is that you couldn't move while aiming. The thing, it was very clunky at times. I didn't like how the NPCs and stuff a lot of times were not voiced because it kind of pulled me out of the experience.
100%.
But now it is voiced. And I think that this could be really great for a lot of people that have not played this game before. I think it's going to reintroduce kind of something fun. So I think what they're doing with this is kind of reintroducing the Dead Rising series to eventually bring it back. I think that's what they're trying to do. Give players a chance at like, hey, this is the original Dead Rising. It's fun to play. I think they know where they screwed up with Dead Rising 4.
Oh yeah.
Dead Rising 4 was not good. But I mean, look at the graphical.
Oh yeah. No, the improvements are amazing. The improvements look really, really, really.
And
really
also,
good.
they did say too, like the mall is more like biomes and stuff now. So instead of it just being like this kind of big thing, like each area is going to feel different. Like with the lighting, with the zombies, it's not just going to feel like the same areas kind of copied over, back to back. It's gonna feel more engrossing, kind of bring you into the world a little bit more than what it previously did. So
Yeah.
and it was kind of shocking to me that this was already announced. Tokyo Game Show is coming up soon, and I really thought that they were going to save it for then. But I was surprised to see that was not the case.
It,
So,
it,
and
yeah,
go ahead.
and it's a pleasant surprise. It really is.
It was a pleasant surprise, and something else that was a
Hey, hold
pleasant.
up, hold up.
Don't you say a word.
What
Don't
did I
don't say a word. We'll
come here,
talk about
son?
it afterwards.
Hold up.
Uh-uh. Now we're on the podcast. We'll talk about it afterwards.
Sit
So
down, bud.
look at my boy Aaron. My God, look at him in all his majesty, with
Yeah.
his beard and his
Yep.
curly hair. What is
Yep.
that?
Yep. That's a grown man. Look at that. Look at the sideburns.
What the fuck is happening right now? Weird.
I know, bro.
Oh my God.
I know.
Speaking of something else that is weird, Bolts. Randomly, it was secretly teased that's they've kind of talked about this already, but it was secretly teased that that Sega is fully engrossed in development for the newest Crazy Taxi game.
Bring that shit on, bro.
It's supposed to be a open world, very big open world, massive game, from what they're saying. It's going to have a lot of really cool multiplayer elements as well. So originally during the Game Awards, this was announced, and it was kind of secretly announced. Like, oh well, this game is coming out, and when it was showcased, like it was in a kind of a little trailer, and we saw little tidbits. But it says now in a development focused video interview reported on and translated by Automaton, Sega offered more information confirming that Crazy Taxi is a large-scale, open-world, massively multiplayer driving game powered by Unreal Engine 5. The producer of the game, Kenji Kano, said that the new Crazy Taxi can be played by many players at once with the goal of maintaining the classic Crazy Taxi style amid these new mechanics. There's mention of a theme park-like map, and it is inspired by U.S. West Coast. It also says that players are driving, have the ability of driving police cars, which I guess maybe certain players can actually pop into your game and chase you down as a police patrol while you're being all crazy and all that other stuff. So, I forgot to hit play on that video. Great
It's cool.
job, Caleb, you fucking idiot.
I thought you were just showing us a still shot, bro.
No. It actually features a little bit of gameplay in there. So it's all running on Unreal Engine, and Bolts. I don't know about you. Well, I kind of do.
Do you?
Crazy Taxi was my game back in the day, bro. Like, that's all I used to play. So with you, are you excited about this? Like, what if they come out and they say, hey, the game is actually going to be, it's going to be this, and it's going to be only multiplayer or whatever else. Like, what are you looking for with this game?
With this game is just bring. I mean, if they're gonna bring it back. The one thing that they can't do is take away from what the craziness it was for the first time.
Yeah,
it was just one of those games that. Oh, hello. My bad. It was just one of those fun games, man. It was nothing really that I'm expecting anything besides the fact that it's going to bring that nostalgia back with, of course, the new and improved, updated graphics, game physics, other elements that they can throw in there. And if it's a MMO like they say it's going to be, that's going to be really cool. playing Crazy
Yeah.
Taxi and being chased by other people, fighting people for fares and shit like that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
Dude.
bro. I honestly never really thought about the possibility of something like that
Right.
occurring, like having Crazy Taxi as a multiplayer game with people. But that's like something that would be really great. Is like if you're running in to get your fare or something, and somebody crashes in front of you. You know, maybe when that happens, your car turns into a police car, and you could chase them down and steal the fare back, or some craziness like that. But I
Right.
loved Crazy Taxi. I loved it so much. There's actually a mobile version of Crazy Taxi out now that you can download, and I can't remember the exact name of it, but it is a really fun version of Crazy Taxi.
Yeah.
So, is there any other aspects of the game or any other of these classic games that you would like to see? I know they're supposed to reveal some stuff with Jet Set Radio pretty soon too.
Yeah. I heard about that, but let me tell you something. It's been a long time coming, and I'm getting pretty irritated that I haven't seen or heard anything recently. I need another Soul Calibur game.
That's so true, bro. That's so true. The last one was fuck.
It was back on the Xbox One. I know that. So it should have been 4 or 5. Yeah, something like that. You got freeze face on your screen, bro.
That's a Bandai Namco.
No, you're jittery.
I'm not jittery. You're jittery.
Oh. Okay.
Bandai Namco does Soul Calibur.
You know, there's
but I do agree with you.
I don't give a shit who does it.
Shut the fuck up. I do agree with you. It's been years.
I mean, they completely right. You know, they completely revamped Mortal Kombat.
2018.
For the most part, it looks. You know, what?
Yeah, 2018.
I mean, hell, that was 6. That's 6 years ago, bro.
Man, that is crazy.
So,
well, they did. Well, Bandai just brought out Tekken, so maybe that's what they're working on.
And I feel that. As far as anything else, that like, you know, especially on the Sega Dream, I'd have to go through my nostalgic memory and my Rolodex in my head because I can't think of anything off the top of my head. But there was a ton of Dreamcast games that would be excellent to bring back at some point.
I want them to bring back. Speaking of classic Capcom games,
you know, yeah, I just the Dreamcast has such a library that was so damn good, and if Capcom has any say into what they could bring back from the Dreamcast era, I'd be all for it. All for it.
There's a ton of classic Capcom games that they could bring out. And also, I mean, you know, bro, I definitely want them to bring out. So I want them to bring more Ghosts and Goblins. They did bring out a remaster or remake of Ghosts and Goblins a while back, but it's been too long. There needs to be a new one. But anyways, Bandai Namco got brought into it. But hey, you can actually, Bolts, you have an Android, don't you?
Yeah, it's the
only. Go on the Google Play. Go on the Google Play Store and search Classic Crazy Taxi or Crazy Taxi Classic, and you can actually download the game on your phone for free.
Okay.
So, a little tidbit for you.
Join us.
Join us. Join us in our love for Crazy Taxi. Yeah. So, anyways, moving on from that, it was also announced during this Capcom event that Resident Evil 7 director Koshi Nakanishi, the director of Resident Evil 7, will be directing Resident Evil 9. So this is a pretty big thing, pretty big news in general for Resident Evil fans across the board. Bolts, as someone that was as big as a fan as I was of Resident Evil 7, having a director of a game like Resident Evil 7 come back, what do you think about this? Do you think that this is going to bring something fresh, or do you think we're just going to get kind of the same old that we've had previously?
Well, Resident Evil 7 was absolutely phenomenal. So of course, bringing the director and producer and the creator and whoever the guy is, that did Resident Evil 7, can only solidify that number 9. It's going to be just as good. Now,
Yeah.
My question is, and of course this is everybody else too, where are we going with the Resident Evil franchise? It's I just it's really kind of ventured off from the whole zombie.
Where do you? Let me ask this: where do you want it to go?
I'm really not sure. I'm kind of, this is kind of a sad thing to say, but I'm kind of ready for it to take a break.
How dare you?
I'm just saying, because I mean, we went from the T virus to, a giant ass lady vampire chick. Okay, I'm just, I'm just like, we're here, and then here, and then,
and then we're here.
We went from the T virus to, a parasite infested village, which is 4, and then whatever 5 and 6 was, because nobody really even knows and cares about those. 7 was an inbred family with the entity, and then 8 was the giant vampire lady with her vampire. It's really taken a left turn to the right of the middle of the stop sign.
I can't stand your fucking descriptions. God.
It's the truth. I'm really, I hope they take 6 years to develop 9. I really do. And maybe they come out with something completely new and fresh, which is kind of hard because it is a survival horror. I mean, you have zombies, you have paranormal entities, you have vampires, werewolves, and trolls, and stuff like that. So it's really hard to revamp that whole survival horror, especially after what you've done throughout the entire series.
Yeah, I agree with you. It is, you kind of get to that point of trying to figure out, like, where the hell are we going? And are we going to see a reintroduction of what made Resident Evil of it being, the T virus and zombies and whatever? I would like to, I would actually, you kind of threw me off, Bolts. I actually agree with you that I would like to see that, because we started seeing it teeter-tot when Resident Evil 4 hit. And Resident Evil 4 is an amazing game. It's unbelievable, especially the remake.
Best one. To me, it's the best one in the entire series. But
it did start teeter-tottering of, like, what if there was more than just a T virus?
Exactly.
The T virus upgraded into the T sweet non-T, and everyone drank it, and then they changed into monsters. And what if we made them in the game fight a giant golem? Bro, I wish I would have been at that round table to where they were like, all right, so at this point in time in the game, Leon is going to take on some big challenges. So, brainstorming here, what do we got? And the guy, guy's like, what if there's like a big mother zombie? Oh, yeah, that sounds good. Or what if there's like a big horde of zombies that he takes on? Yeah, that would be pretty good. And then somebody's like, what if he fights a golem? He's like a giant troll. Well, what does that have to do with Resident Evil? And they're like, it does. I mean, it's scary.
Right.
All right. Well, let's go with it.
Yeah. Or let's make him paddle to the middle of the lake to fight a giant sea creature.
A sea creature in the middle of the lake. Had nothing to do with really anything. There was no connection.
And
we were just talking about how great the game is, and now we're just totally shitting on it. Like,
yeah, but it still was a great game, regardless of what we say, because it was. Yeah. The story of the game was phenomenal. To me, does it branch off from what Resident Evil was? Absolutely. At that point, it took a turn to a different direction, so they can expand on the Resident Evil universe. As you can tell from 5, 6, definitely 7, and definitely 8, for sure. But it was one of those things. and 1, 2, and 3 was about the T virus, about this corporation that was trying to, you know, create a virus and these superhuman and whatever the evil power organization, and then 4 was like somewhere else, and it was, and but once again, 4 was great, 7 was great, 8 was good, 1, 2, and 3 were awesome for the time frame of when it was. The remakes are really good, and I steer away from 5 and 6 because I didn't care too much for those, but
5 was awful.
it was just it's
you know what made me realize
what am I doing?
You know what made me realize how bad 5 was? When I saw Adam, what's his name from X-Play? Sessler. Adam Sessler.
Yeah.
Adam Sessler came on and did a review on X-Play for it and was like, and that's whenever I was just kind of like, really moving into like, this is what I want to do. And Adam was like, this is a really bad game. Like he was talking about it. I was like, no way. There's no way. It's Resident Evil 5. It's supposed to be great.
All right, it's Capcom. Come on.
Before we move into the next one, we got a quick hit, little bit or tidbit right here. Battlefield 20. I put 2024. Idiot.
And none of your editors caught that? Come on, bro.
Oh my God. Battlefield 2042. Not 2024. Jesus Christ, Caleb. Battlefield 2042 cross Dead Space event has been officially announced. Jump into the horror July 9th. So on the 9th of July, an exciting crossover event is set to take place in Battlefield 2042. This event will blend the realms of Battlefield and Dead Space, bringing this unique, thrilling experience to players. The crossover event, dubbed Outbreak, will throw players into an intense battle against never-before-seen enemies within the Battlefield universe. For those participating in this special collaboration, exclusive free rewards are waiting to be unlocked. These include a brand new weapon charm, a unique skin, and a player card and background tags. Furthermore, players will also have the option of purchasing the Dead Space bundle, which boasts a legendary specialist outfit known as Marked Man, along with 3 legendary weapon skins and much more. This incredible bundle will be available for 2,200 BFCs, which is Battlefield currency. So as you can see right here, this is some of the images of what this suit looks like. And it looks pretty stellar. You can also see the enemies that are in Outbreak. That it's kind of like the zombie version for Battlefield. It's seemingly pretty fun. But as I said here, this looks amazing, and this looks to be amazing and different style of crossover event that I cannot wait to dive into when it launches July 9th. For someone who loved Battlefield 20, I put 2024 again, 2042 from the start. This game just gives me one more reason to keep diving back into the world that DICE and EA have built for us. So here is the trailer. I don't know if you could see this or not.
I am Isaac.
Incoming! Pull the fuck back! What's for that? Make every shot count!
The one thing that everyone has always said about EA and, Battlefield in general is how they've always been able to make really great hype trailers for the game compared to like what the actual content is. But I have always said that since the beginning of the launch of 42, I've always talked about how amazing the game is, how great it looks. Playability is fantastic. And having a zombie mode like that in the game, or a survival mode like that in the game, to where you have to extract, face off against these crazy characters, it's definitely another reason for me to get back into the game. So, what do you think about it, Bolts?
I mean, it looks like a survival horde game. Is what it is. 4 people, onslaught of zombies or creatures or whatever the hell they're going to be, and you survive. And I mean, it looks entertaining. It really does.
It looks pretty good. So last topic of the night, Nintendo says the best way to stop scalping of the Switch's successor is to make enough of them in the first place. So in a Q&A and a general meeting of shareholders, the company's executives were asked what measures they were taking place to stop the reselling of its consoles, given that at least years, my God. Given that at least years meeting, they said that was supposed to say last year's. I knew it, but it says least. At last year's meeting, they said that they were planning on doing so. It says right here, last year and year before, we were unable to produce significant quantities of the Nintendo Switch hardware due to a shortage of the semiconductor components. But this situation has now been resolved. At present, we do not believe that the shortage of these components will have a significant impact on the production of the successor model. Nintendo has confirmed in May that it will announce the next console this fiscal year, meaning that Switch's successor will be revealed by the end of March 2025. So, Bolts, first and foremost, this is not just something that we actually saw with the Nintendo Switch. This is something we saw very heavily with the PlayStation 5 when it came out. There was a lot of resellers, and there was a lot of issues with actually creating the console because of the components, because of them not being able to have access to certain things. And it was frustrating. It was very, very frustrating.
100% frustrating. This was by far the worst console release ever.
Yeah. Across the board.
Yeah, 100%. And the Switch was more accessible than the other two consoles. Absolutely it was. But still, at that point, you couldn't get a PS5 or an Xbox Series console. So everybody went for the Switch because it was available. And then even at that point, people were like, okay, $700, bro.
Real quick, I want to give a shout out to a couple of people that have commented on our Facebook live stream. Mr. Ricky Williams, Ethan as well. He says, "Is the Script 2 coming out?" And then my boy Martin Rodriguez. He said, "What's up, Hood? What's up, buddy? Hope everything's good." Yes, everything is fantastic, and we appreciate your comments on here. Ricky and Ethan, man, we've known them for forever.
Many moons.
And my boy Martin, we worked together at Lowe's for a while. He's a really big horror fan, so we kind of vibed on that. But I agree, Bolts, that this console generation, and it's not. I wouldn't even call it console generation. Honestly, I would call it a mistake. I'd call it a mistake.
It was
because, bro, like, we're just now at the point of a lot of people being able to get their hands on these consoles, and we're already hearing
about new consoles,
whims of a new Xbox, of a new PlayStation. Right. And I'm like, fuck, bro, these people just now got them.
Right. Hey, refresh my memory. When was the consoles, like the PlayStation and Series, released?
I'll look that up.
Was it 19 or 20?
I'll look that up real quick.
Because I'm having a brain fart, and I can't remember off the top of my head, and it's bothering me. Because, and I'll give, while we're discussing this, I'll give a little bit, because also during the release of these consoles, we had a world pandemic.
Yeah.
Which of course put a halt on a lot of things. But once again, go ahead.
PS5 came out in it was such a horrible year. PS5 came out November 12th of 2020. Xbox Series X, Xbox Series 8 came out in November of 2020 as well. So both of these honestly hit in the midst of the beginning of the pandemic.
Exactly.
So it fucked everything.
it really did. And of course, Sony and Microsoft couldn't foresee that there was going to be a global pandemic right around the corner.
Yeah.
You know, but but with that being said, even at that point in time, you couldn't get certain kind of chips for the consoles. Hell, if you want to say consoles, automobile companies couldn't even get stuff made because certain components weren't being provided to them as well.
Yeah.
So it was just it was crappy. And even after the pandemic, both companies still drug their ass about putting more consoles out there. And whatever consoles that they slowly released to the public, companies like Entertainment Mart or these third party companies who would buy consoles, and then sell them for $700, $800.
Yeah,
because they could.
and that's what was sad, honestly, is that we did see companies, not just resellers, companies out there trying to get all the bang for their buck out of these consoles because they knew that they could.
Exactly.
And it was very, very irritating because for me, I was lucky, had somebody I knew at GameStop and they called me and said, hey, these become available for pre-order right now. I got like 2 left. You want to come up here? I'm like, hell yeah. So I was like one of the first people in Palisade to get a PS5.
Yeah.
And I was like, when she told me afterwards, hey, well, they're saying that they're not gonna. There's no more coming in for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh well, all the console launches that we've been through, that we've lived through. I'm
Exactly.
like, it'll be fine. There'll be some more coming in. And then Jesus, for instance, a friend of mine, he didn't get his for like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't get his until like 2022. Or like the end of 2021, then he ended up having to pay extremely high costs for it. So
yeah, exactly. And the only console shortage I ever remember being that bad was the original Wii.
Yeah, but that was different though, because
Yeah.
really, you think about it, when we were working at GameStop and the Wii was hitting, bro, it was a shortage because everyone was buying it.
Yeah, that's 100%.
It was selling out across the board. So
yeah,
but I agree with you, Bolts. I think that there is a very big possibility that the Nintendo Switch 2, I think, and I think as well, I think it's going to be a huge hit. I think it's going to, it's going to be really huge for Nintendo. They just have their own niche market.
Exactly. And I'm really, really, really interested to know, are they going to stick with the cartridge or are they going to move to back to a disc? That's
from what's being said, they're talking about staying with physical media.
Okay. And that's all fine and dandy, but even with the Switch, the first Switch, now I'm sure they can put some more stuff inside the cartridge to make graphics and stuff like that better and stuff like that. From
early details, they're stating that the Switch 2 is supposed to have a larger, brighter screen, supposed to be thinner, supposed to have the ability of, when you are playing it mobily, you'll be able to have 1080p 60 frames per second or up to 4K possibly. But if they move into the 4K realm, that's my thing, is that I think they know they're going to have to put a really heavy price load on it. So I think we're going to be the possibility of it being undocked. You'll get like 1440p at 60 frames, and then docked mode, you'll get 4K possibly. But I mean, really, we haven't really talked about the possibility of like playing games like Mario and Luigi's Mansion and the new Metro or Metroid in 4K. So there is the new Metroid that's coming out, and it's supposed to be coming out in 2025. So there's a big possibility that it might be a launch title for the series, or for the Switch 2. So
right.
But anyways, guys, so this is kind of a, quick hit podcast. Usually we kind of run an hour and 30 to 2 hours over, but, I got some gaming I want to do, and Bolts has got some gaming he wants to do. Wants to spend time with, little Bolts, the two little Boltses. It's weird.
Two little bolts. He's not so little. He's fucking.
Yeah, no, he's like the weird version of Jack Skellington.
A weird version of Jack Skellington. Nice.
But guys, I just wanted to say thank you so much for tuning into this episode. It's always great to do these podcasts and have the amazing opportunities that we've been provided over the last, couple of years. I also want to give a really big shout out to Cinelinx as well. They've done some amazing stuff for me, and for us in general. And, please make sure to do me a favor and head on over to Cinelinx.com and check out the great content that we have available. You can see my newest, one of my newest videos, Kunitsugami Path of the Goddess, full gameplay demo that is available now. You can download, or you can just watch me play it. You can check out our newest review of Kinds of Kindness. You can also check out some of the latest news that we have featured and some of the other reviews and podcasts and much more. So I love you guys so much. And thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the podcast.
Also, on the Cinelinx webpage, you won't find any article that I've written.
None. Hey, speaking of people that writing...
They don't allow smut to be put on.
Yeah, Bolts will get on there and he's like, hey, the real question is, why isn't 76 good? These people are putting all their time and effort into it, and why not just hand it over to Obsidian so they can fix it? I'm like, Bolts, you gotta chill. No,
just say it, bro.
Speaking of people writing and stuff like that, big shout out to Toaster McGee from the 16-Bit Assassins and all that. He has been welcomed on as an opinionated writer through Cinelinx. Posted his first news bit actually about something that I didn't even know was happening, Bolts, which I guess you might have known. I had no clue until I actually saw it the other day, but this new Millennium Media version of Hellboy, and it's based on the Hellboy comics. Instead of it being based on like him stopping the world from obliteration and all that, it's supposed to be based on the Hellboy comics, and it's supposed to be featured, which I knew this about Hellboy, but I kind of forgot. But he was a paranormal investigator. That's what he was in the comic books.
Yes,
and that's what this is based on. This is based on him doing a paranormal investigation of the quote unquote Crooked Man, and it's supposed to have some big horror elements. So real quickly, I mean, Bolts.
I saw some bits and pieces of it. I was gonna dive into it the other day because it flashed up actually on my my TikTok that I was scrolling through. But yeah, no, I'm really excited to see where they take this and how they're gonna mash it up with what the comics was and stuff like that. But if they follow the comics, it's gonna be really good, man. It really is. What, you laughing at my pen?
No, I'm laughing at that woman with the crooked eye that was staring at the camera. She was like,
she's trying to look. She was trying to follow my pin. She's like, "What the hell?"
But yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Bolts. It looks really good. I mean, a lot of people, of course, right off the bat, they were like, "That's not Neil Pearlman or whatever. What's his name? The guy that played
Hopper.
Ron
Perlman played the first one, and then Sheriff Hopper from Stranger Things played the
which I did not like.
One. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
I mean, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good.
But it wasn't good.
Yeah. So, but this is supposed to be when Hellboy, of course, is younger, and it is based in like the 1930s.
Right.
So it looks really interesting. Man.
Sorry, I was trying to get a picture of his face, and I was trying to picture it, and I can't picture who was playing him. So I'll look it up later.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the guy. But anyways, guys, this has been the Second Opinion Podcast, episode number 360. Please make sure to check us out at Cinelinx.com for some of the latest and greatest geek news, movie news, and gaming news. Great content and great content creators right over at Cinelinx. Please make sure to give us a follow as well on Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, all over the place. Follow Bolts' eye. Hey, bro, I ran out of oxygen enough the other day from coughing that I twitched.
Did you?
I blacked out, and my hand was like.
After you blacked out, did you take another hit of your vape? Yeah, love you too, bud.
I love you, bro.
Love you too.
Anyways, yeah. We'll talk to you very soon.
Hold on, before we go.
Yeah.
This right here,
Uh-huh.
you know, the last season to be aired on Crunchyroll and stuff like that is done. Season 5 basically is done with the episode. They only had 8 episodes, right?
Uh-huh.
Now with the last episode, they're going to. I don't know if you've watched Demon Slayer or not, or the most recent. Oh, I don't know. So, you know, the most recent episode where if you haven't watched it, close your ears. But they got trapped into the Infinity Castle where all the upper demons are staying and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now they're fixing to release a trilogy of movies.
Yes, I saw that.
Okay, I'm really awesome about that, but damn it, it's not going to release until 2025.
Oh man. So
Oh, bro.
okay, so real quick,
Ugh.
so with season 5 being the end all of the series or whatever else,
Yeah,
the movie trilogy is supposed to end it completely, right?
yes, yeah. The end of season 5 should be the end of the TV airing seasons, and then the trilogy of the movies that's coming out starting in 2025 is the end of the series completely.
What is Silk Song?
You're making up
What is
shit.
that?
What?
No, I'm serious. Somebody just commented that. What do you think about Silk Song?
If it's an anime, I have. Not
Oh,
seen
maybe they're talking about Hollow Knight Silk Song?
Maybe.
Maybe.
don't know.
Bolts, you played Hollow Knight.
I mean, it's a great roguelike game. It
Yeah.
really is. It's a lot of fun.
I don't
Just
know.
like
Somebody
Dead-
commented on here and they're like, I'm confused. What's this podcast about? I'm like, bro, it literally says it. I don't mean to be rude, man, but I'm fucking too old for comments like that, dude. Listen, it says it in the title. There will be enough Switch 2's for us all. Oh, man. It says, how many people have you killed with stones?
12.
I'm done, bro. Oh, it says it says how many people have you killed from with stones from Hollow Knight?
Oh, bro, I don't even know, dude.
It's been a while. No username. Of course, I know the Switch 2 is not out yet. No, but it's coming out. Just listen, do me a favor. Go and watch the full podcast. We're getting off here. We're old men now. I'm not going to have a last-minute conversation about trying to explain what's been happening for the last hour.
But hey, thanks for the questions.
Thanks, really, honestly, thanks for the question.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, no joke.
Just
no username.
just try to get in
But-
earlier, and then we'll go from there.
No username. It's like, bro, for real. That's what his last comment. He was like, but the Switch 2 isn't out.
Nope.
I'm like,
we need to go, bro. We need to go.
he says, I'm just goofing around.
Okay. New boot goofing.
New boot goofing. All right, guys. Love you so much. And we'll talk to you soon.